And watercolor dries 25 to 30% lighter. So I like to build these gradually, especially for my beginners, because they tend to use too much color in the beginning. So what we're going to do here, I've mixed up some more of my orange, bright orange, and I've also have that darker mix ready to go here, which was the orange and the purple. And we're going to start with clear water, upside down. We're going to do the same thing, except this is just clear water. Okay, then we are going to drop in the orange. Remember, we're doing a dome. Okay, so got the brighter orange here. And then for the very dark, we're going to go into this dark mixture of the red and the violet and create that shadow. If you want it to be more on the purple side, you just add more of the blue. You can see it dulls it down, makes it more of that browny color. So let's dry that. Go in with more of my ultramarine blue with a little bit of that violet color mixed in. So I get a nice dark, vibrant color. The darker your background, the more your subject is going to pop out and be, we want this to be luminescent. In order to do that, we have to keep a very dark background around it. So that's why I'm doing this. And you don't have to be, just try not to get it up into the jellyfish himself. Nice dark. Another way to get this color, if you didn't want to mix it, would be to do a layer of ultramarine blue and then a layer of the violet and keep alternating them. That's another way to get that mixture. And be sure and collect anything that's coming through the edge of your paper. Yeah. And this is another way to pick up those little dots if you don't want to use a brush. I like some of this dark here a little bit though, so I'm not going to fool with that too much. Okay, let's try this, and then we will hopefully take off the masking fluid. Okay, because I don't want these up here to be so pronounced, I'm going to take my masking fluid removal. This is just a crepe eraser. You can use your fingers. It's just as easy to do it this way. And you don't have to take your masking fluid all off at one time. It's better if you do it gradually. Gives you time to plan a little bit. Just be sure it's off there. I am going to take it off the edges of the dome here because I don't want this harsh line. So we're going to have to soften that. I'm going to leave all this in here. Perhaps take that out. Actually, let's go ahead and try to take out just the masking fluid that's on the dome itself. If you remove too much, you can always put it back if you need to, like that. But we're finished with the background, so we could just take it all off if we wanted to. But I just want this to soften these edges a little bit here. So just peel it down to about there. That'll give us enough room to work. And just be sure there's not any left on the dome part itself. Okay. So because we don't want these harsh lines, first thing we're going to do is to go up over the blue again, but this time we're going to turn it upside down because we don't want to mess with this. And we're just going to take, first we're going to take our orange, and we're just going to lightly go over these places and knock this back a little bit so it's not so pronounced. Then we're going to go along this edge right here and soften that. Remember, that's our dark dome right there. Then we're going to blot out our brush and go back in with that brighter orange in here. Just to maintain that. And go up in here. Just kind of gently with the tip of your brush, just soften this edge right here. So that it doesn't stand out so much. Clean your brush, blot it off. Go back into your ultramarine blue mixture. And because we want this to be a soft edge, you're going to find that these are going to mingle together. So gently just come right up to the edge. We're just going over this again. Right to the edge. And that's going to soften the edge and knock all this back to where you see it, but it just doesn't stand out as being pure white. Okay, see how that works? And take your paper towel and clean up your edge. And now we're going to flip it around and take that ultramarine blue back down here again so we don't have a hard edge. And we still have the masking fluid down here, so we're good. Come in here and just touch where you're. Now that may go over that a little bit just to knock those back. Some of those that came off, that's no problem. You can still see them, they're just not as pronounced. That's all we're going to do with these, just to knock them back a little bit. Now we're going to dry this again. Let's get a little more color down here. Masking fluid off. We're going to go over this one more time. First with our soft orange mixture, just to soften these lines. Then we're going with the more vibrant orange again. Oranges dry, once they dry very flat. It's hard to maintain that luminosity with oranges, especially the ones you make yourself. So now we're going in with that dark mixture here. Just touch the edge. And because that's the only place that's wet, that water's going to stay right there. So if we want it to move around a little bit. We can do this. And then we can do it this way and get that dome back. So it's kind of going in where we want it to go, and pick up anything that's not shaped right. Hopefully that'll be enough. We're not going to get the vibrancy that is in this photograph because this is backlit. And of course, you know, we're using paint rather than a camera. We might do a little bit of the grayer mixture right in here, a little bit more of that. Just to soften those lines a bit. Just knocking them back a little bit. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Let's soften that transition right there a little bit. Take this on down here again. Let that wash out there. All right, let's dry this. Normally, I don't use a hairdryer. I let my paintings dry on their own. But because we're in a class, we have to speed up the process. So I've taken a little bit of the yellow and mixed it in with my orange. And I'm gonna shoot this up right here, just to give us a little more glow. That's mostly yellow with just a little bit of orange in it. And that way we get a little bit more glowy color going here. Here and there. Maybe a little in here as well, along that leading edge. Not too much though. Remember, this is going to dry lighter, so don't worry. If you get too much, just blot it up. Just want this to come down and be part of him. Okay, so pick up anything extra with your thirsty brush. And I think this is going to be enough. Always cleaning your brush in between colors so you don't create a muddy mix. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Might want to soften this transition a little bit right here. I don't want a hard line there. It's very soft, so I'm just using a clean brush to just blot up a little bit of that. Okay, so now we're going to put in these marks right here. So we're going to take our red. I cleaned my palette. You always need to clean your palette if you've got too much on there. We're going to take the red, a little yellow. I have a mixing brush that I use only for mixing. Just makes life easier. So a little bit more yellow. So we've got that nice, vibrant orange. So now we're going to deepen it with a little ultramarine. That was way too much. So if you do that, you get way too much. Rather than trying to correct that, just clean that little bit up and try your mixture again. So more red. Cleaning in between, a little more yellow, get that nice orange, add a little bit of ultramarine. Okay, we're getting there. A little bit more, just a dot. Okay, if it gets too brown, add some more red. This is just a process of mixing. Mixing gets easier as you practice. Touch more blue. That's probably about as dark as we're going to make with this, with these three colors. If you want to use, make your life easier, just use burnt sienna, which is this right here. You can see it's almost dead on the color. So let's do a little bit more of our red, a little bit more yellow, and we're pretty close. We don't have a darkening. The only dark pigment we have is the ultramarine blue, so that's about as dark as we're going to get with that. So let's see how that works. And if you've lost your lines here, don't worry. Just start up here somewhere. Let's start with this one. So there's kind of a line that comes on the very edge, comes down like that. Then we've got another one. And if you hold your brush on the tip, you'll get a finer line. There, like that. Then this one connects, comes down here. Then we've got this one that comes straight down right here. So we've got this one, there's that one, this one. And we're doing this lightly at first, and we'll darken it as we go. Because, so we're going to do this. So it's kind of like a inverted V. It goes up, starts up here, and it comes down like that. Get a little more paint. Then we've got a dark one here. Comes here, wiggles down here. And these are going to actually connect into some of these tendrils. So this one comes here, comes on down here, and we'll connect it to that one. Then we've got this one over here that comes here down to there, and this one that comes to there. Okay. Then over here, we've got this one that comes right here. We'll carry that one on down. That one was a little close. So we've got one on the edge that's going to come in and carry into this area right here. That's going to be pretty. This one comes here. All right. So we've got that started. So now we'll just do them again. Let them connect on down into, even though you still have the masking, it's fine. We're just building how dark they are. Very light touch here, just the tip of your brush. And you know, you don't have to be precisely the same as the photograph. That's the good thing about paintings. You don't have to be the same. I think I'm going to take, let's see, we've got this. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's do a thin one right here. Connect it on down into there. All right. See how those do. We'll probably have to do several layers of this to get these dark enough. We're just about ready to take the masking fluid off. All right, let's dry this. So I'm just connecting to these different areas. I'm going to make some come down here and into here. All right, so let's get this dry and let's get this masking fluid off and see what we have.